Hi, I'm Fatima Bhutto and I'm the author of The Runaways. It's a novel about radicalism, but more specifically about the radicalized and what would draw today's young people to take up arms not just against their countries and their countrymen, but against the world. I'm here today at Waterstones Piccadilly and I want to share with you 3 books that have inspired and continue to inspire my writing. And the first one of these is a collection of poetry by Mahmoud Darwish. This one is called Mural, but I actually used the poem Rita and the Rifle as the epigraph for my novel The Runaways. Darwish was born in Galilee and he grew up as an internal refugee in his own country. And his work is filled with the themes of displacement, exile, longing for home, and also the danger of imagination. I don't know how many poets in here have been arrested, but Darwish was arrested twice, in fact. Once for traveling internally without a permit, and the second time for reciting poetry, and he's one of my all-time favorites. My next choice is James Baldwin, and specifically The Fire Next Time. James Baldwin is a revelation for a reader, and I remember the first time I read anything of his, it was in fact this book. My grandfather had this beautiful library at home in Karachi, and he loved Baldwin, and I went in there and took this book down and was set ablaze by not only the beauty of Baldwin's prose, but also his bravery and his boldness in confronting inequality, racism, structural, systematic racism, imperialism. I mean, he writes beautifully about everything, even film. So if you haven't read Baldwin before, I would definitely start with this one. And I envy you, in fact, if you haven't read Baldwin, because you're going to discover him and your world will change. The last book I want to share with you is Ours Are the Streets by Sanjeev Sahota. And I discovered Sahota while I was sort of midway through writing The Runaways. And you probably know him by his second book, The Year of the Runaways, a coincidence. But this is his first book, and it goes from Sheffield to Lahore to Afghanistan, and it's just a sublimely written book. It's so tightly crafted, there's so much suspense, and it's about similar issues as my own, about lives that are changed by loss, by anger, by pain, how families are disrupted and broken, and also the alienation of belonging and not belonging in the world of today. When I love a book, I don't stop talking about it, and I've been talking about this one for about 2.5 years now, so highly recommend it.